Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're talking about some seriously advanced data tools that have basically jumped straight out of a sci-fi movie and into the real world of business. And look, these aren't just pie-in-the-sky concepts anymore. They are real, they are powerful, and you can actually use them right now. So let's dive in.
I mean, just think about it for a second. You unlock your phone with your face. You talk to your smart speaker, and it talks right back. All that stuff that used to be pure movie magic. Eyeball scans, voice commands, instant ID. That's just our normal, everyday routine now. And you better believe that in the business world, these same technologies are becoming absolute game changers.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the most personal tool there is, you. Then we're going to level up from just seeing what's happening to actually predicting the future. After that, we'll get into the incredible power of the swarm and the unbreakable blockchain before we pull it all together and show you where the real magic happens. So let's start with number one. This is probably the most relatable of all these technologies, something you probably use, dozens of times a day. We're talking about biometrics.
Okay, that sounds a little complicated, but the idea is actually super simple. Metrics just means measurement, and biomarkers, well, those are just your unique biological traits. Things like your fingerprint, the sound of your voice, the pattern in your eye, heck, even the way you walk. So biometrics is just the tech that measures all those unique things about you.
And you see it everywhere, right? Unlocking your phone is the obvious one. But it's also how your bank knows it's you when you call them. It's used in airport security lines and even for clocking into a job. The goal for all of these is pretty simple. Let's move past the nightmare of forgotten passwords and lost keycards. So, how do you spot a place where this could work for you? Well, first, just look for any spot where you need to confirm that someone is who they say they are. Next, ask yourself, could a unique human trait be measured here? And finally, and this is the important part, figure out if using it would actually make the whole process better and help you hit your bigger goals.
Okay, now we're going to take a pretty big leap forward. We're moving beyond just identifying who someone is to analyzing what is happening right now, and even predicting what's about to happen next.
And this brings up a really key difference. You can think of image and video analysis as being all about the present. It's like a set of digital eyes, spotting something as it's happening. Machine learning, on the other hand, is all about the future. It takes all that data and learns from it to predict what's just around the corner.
And this is what makes machine learning so incredibly powerful. See, in the old days, we had to program every single possibility, a million if this, then that statements. Not anymore. Now, you don't program the rules. You just give the computer a goal and a whole mountain of data, and it figures out the patterns and the logic all by itself. It literally teaches itself.
So, where do you start? Well, look for any process that's just clogged up with super complex rules. Or find areas where being able to make a solid prediction would be a huge advantage. Or, just find anywhere your team is spending hours and hours just sifting through data, trying to find a needle in a haystack. That is the perfect job to hand over to a machine.
Okay, but that brings up a really important question. If a machine is learning all by itself, how do you make sure its predictions are actually any good? What are the risks? Well, the answer is summed up perfectly by this classic saying in computer science: garbage in, garbage out. It's that simple. If the data you feed the machine is flawed or biased or just plain wrong, its conclusions are going to be just as bad. A model can only ever be as good as the information it learns from. Let's be honest, humans create bias all the time too. The difference is, with machines, we have an opportunity to be really systematic about it. The real work isn't just building the model. It's making sure you have a solid plan to constantly check your data and monitor the results to catch that bias before it becomes a problem. So far, pretty much everything we've talked about acts like a central brain making decisions. Now we're going to shift gears and look at two ideas built on a totally different concept: decentralized, collective power. We're talking swarm intelligence and blockchain. So for swarm intelligence, just picture a colony of ants or a hive of bees. There's no single boss ant telling everyone what to do. Instead, each ant just follows a few simple rules and talks to its neighbors. And out of all those tiny interactions, this incredibly smart group behavior just emerges. Blockchain, on the other hand, is kind of like a shared digital notebook. Everyone in the network has their own copy, and every new entry is cryptographically linked to the last one. It's all out in the open, so nobody can secretly go back and erase or change something. It's tamper-proof by its very nature.
And in the real world, swarm intelligence is being used to optimize unbelievably complex systems, like getting luggage sorted in an airport or balancing traffic on a cell network, all without a central command center. And blockchain has moved way beyond just crypto. It's now being used to secure everything from financial contracts and academic transcripts to supply chains and even voting systems. It provides a trusted record of truth without needing a central authority to vouch for it.
And that brings us to our final and honestly most important point. All of these individual tools are really fascinating on their own, but the real transformation, the real magic, well, that happens when you start putting them all together. This right here is the key takeaway. A single tool is cool, it's interesting, but a combination of tools is what actually solves big, messy, real-world problems. Think about it. What happens when you combine video analysis that spots behavior with biometrics that identifies who it is and machine learning that predicts what they need? You're not just watching anymore. You are creating a brand new kind of intelligent system.
So, we've gone all the way from your face being a password, to machines that can predict a future, to networks that work like beehives to secure our world. These are not sci-fi fantasies anymore. This is a real accessible toolkit for innovation. And the only question left to ask is, which combination is going to be the one that transforms your work? Thanks for watching.